Welcome to a brand new journey on a brand new game, everyone. My name is College Sports Revived, and here I do college sports gaming content. And today we'll be traveling south to begin a new story. But this won't be just a typical run-of-the-mill rebuild. This is going to be a fight to keep a college football program alive. The University of Alabama Birmingham Blazers football program was formed in 1991 and only competed at the Division III level for 5 years before making the jump to D1 in 1996. They'd compete in Conference USA for 16 seasons, but only managed 4 500 seasons over that span. In 2014, however, things were finally looking up for them. They made their second bowl game in program history, possessed an all-conference running back in Jordan Howard, and the product on the field was finally improving. But off the field, the situation was anything but. The school had denied requests for improvements to multiple facets of the football program. Attendance was also an issue due to Legion Field being located off campus, but they wouldn't construct a new stadium. Players were also getting hurt on the dilapidated practice field, but the school wouldn't open their pockets for a new one, and thus the writing was on the wall for what happened next. On December 2nd, 2014, the UAB Blazers football program ceased to exist. Many believed then, and still believe to this day, the decision to close the program wasn't purely based off of money. People think the University of Alabama system, which UAB is a part of, had an agenda against the Blazers. It's theorized the system had an interest in limiting a potential rise of a Division I football program not wearing crimson and white. And with powerful Crimson Tide figures like Paul Bryant Jr., Bear Bryant's son, pushing for the closure, the perception was clear. University of Alabama football was sacred, and this was to protect the established order. But here's where the UAB story becomes legendary. Everyone from the alumni to the students to even the residents of Alabama refused to let the program die. Millions of dollars poured in, voices were heard, and the support was so overwhelming, the university had no choice but to reinstate the program just 6 months later. And the new era of UAB football was welcomed with all of the amenities the program refused to provide in the past. A new stadium closer to campus, a new practice facility, and alongside the new venues came new results. Remember how 500 ball was so elusive for the Blazers? They would do it every year for the next 6 seasons after their comeback, including an 11-win 2018, achieving their first conference title in program history. Things were going so well that the American Athletic Conference invited them for the 2023 season, an upgrade in the college football hierarchy. But unfortunately, the transition hasn't been going as smoothly as planned. They've won just 7 games over the past 2 years, they've sported one of the worst defenses in all of America, and after such an incredible journey, the program feels like it's drifting. But this is where we step in and attempt to once again save Birmingham football. This isn't your typical everyday rebuild. It's making sure this program never has to face the threat of termination again. Not only do I aim to create a powerhouse in the AAC, but our ultimate goal is to create a product that'll compete with the best that college football has to offer so that we can eventually dethrone the team that Alabama Board of Trustees tried so hard to protect. What's up, everyone? If you're new here, my name is College Sports Revived and I do college sports video game content. Welcome to the channel. And I'm more so known for my many College Hoops 2K8 series, but I've wanted to dabble into football for a while, and as you probably guessed by the intro, I put a lot of realism and storytelling above all in my series, and I couldn't think of a better program to take over than one that's defied all the odds just to stay alive. The UAB Blazers football program has overcome everything thrown their way. However, they're in need of new leadership entering the American Athletic Conference era of their program. This is the most vulnerable they've been since they were shut down, so the clock is ticking before the suits that control the Alabama Board of Trustees pull the plug once again. With the odds again stacked against Blazer football, the school decided to hire a new fresh face, and I thought Motivator fit the best for our style of rebuilds here. On this channel, we're not exactly known for bringing in the highest rated recruiting classes, but we've excelled at putting our players in the best positions to succeed and getting the best out of them. So I thought that fit nicely for UAB's new head coach, Lloyd Hicks. Hicks, an Alabama native himself, is a staple of a completely different series on this channel, my College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series at Fordham University. His recruitment brought our team to new heights, culminating in Lloyd Hicks winning Final Four's most outstanding player in our national championship run at Fordham University. And yes, he is an Alabama native, so the 7-footer definitely felt it whenever the program shut down in 2014. UAB offered him just a 1-year contract, showing that even the school itself is feeling the pressure from their rough transition into the American Conference. He doesn't have a long leash, and they want to make sure they get their next hire right. Here in the intro video today, we're going to be spending the rest of our time getting to know the Blazers roster. We're going to be highlighting our projected leaders at each position group before heading into our spring game scrimmage to truly get up close and personal with this team. And where else would we start other than our starting senior quarterback, Jalen Kitna, son of former NFL quarterback John Kitna. The genes definitely got passed down in terms of the arm talent. Kitna possesses 93 throw power, but the accuracies and ability to play outside the pocket is where he's lacking. Although I think his rocket arm is a good fit for our young receiving core, which you will be meeting in just a moment. Kitna is likely not the only quarterback you may see this season. Junior Trace Campbell could provide another level to the offense with his running ability. With accuracies in the 70s, however, we won't be asking him to throw very often, but look for him to be more of a package player to help defenses keep them on their toes. UAB hit the portal for the next starting running back as senior Javon Jackson transfers in from UTEP, where he was the Miners' featured back last season. UAB was horrendous on the ground last year, but I really like Jackson's game to help improve that, providing a bit of power and finesse fused with his compact frame. You'll also see 220-pound senior Isaiah Jacobs in for short yardage work and power formations. I'm also intrigued with sophomore Solomon Beebe, who won the return man job as a true freshman last year thanks to his vision and aggressiveness with the football. This receiving core is probably the most promising group on file. Sophomore Corey Milner is the team's top returning receiver. He stands at 6'2", possesses 91 speed, and I plan to play him on the perimeter as our deep threat. Milner is one of 3 pass catchers with at least 90 speed. Junior Caleb Brown and sophomore Iverson Hooks are also above that 90 speed threshold, with Hooks being our best route runner. But keep an eye on true freshman Jalen Elder out of Madison, Georgia. He already has the best hands on the team and could really help us on third down situations. There's no reason why we can't be one of the most productive pass schemes in the American. Well, actually, I could think of a reason. The offensive line's in a pretty rough spot. John Darius Morgan is a top player at left tackle, but he's a senior, and so are 2 other starters. So reinforcements in the trenches are a top priority as head coach Lloyd Hicks hits the recruiting trail this season. And that could apply for both sides of the ball as well, as our defensive line lacks depth, but at least we'll have a leader to rely on. Senior redshirt Nigel Tate is a very versatile tackle, someone who can plug some running lanes in the run game and rush the passer from the interior. He's an every down player and should be an anchor to a defense in need of an identity. At linebacker, Eli Ellis transfers in from the FCS, recording over 100 tackles while he was at Nicholls State last season. He's a good athlete for his size and has some coverability at the off-ball linebacker spot. I could really see Ennis wearing a lot of hats for this defense as a senior. Our secondary on paper is pretty top heavy, but I really like our number 1 corner, junior Tariq Watson. He's our best athlete in the secondary, better in zone coverage, and has power 4 pedigree after transferring in from Minnesota. Safety Sherrod Bryant also hails from a power conference, spending time at Georgia Tech before posting a very productive 2025 season at UAB. The game has his archetype listed as box specialist, which I think is kind of giving him the short end of the stick. He can cover just as well as he can tackle, so I'll be getting creative with him. Maybe some sub linebackers, some slot corner. We're going to see how it goes with him. But it's finally time to play some football, everyone. Opening up the series with our spring game scrimmage to meet this team and see who stands out and continue to mold our identity entering the Lloyd Hicks era of UAB football. This is a big opportunity for everyone on this roster, so don't expect these guys to just go through the motions today. Every spot is up for grabs, and it's time to find out who wants to take them. On your screen are the projected starters for both teams. Up first is the green team with projected starting quarterback Jalen Kitna. He's joined by Caleb Brown, Eli Ennis, and Tariq Watson. And the white team will be led by Trace Campbell, our backup scrambling quarterback. and he'll be teaming up with Javon Jackson, Corey Milner, Nigel Tate, and Sarad Bryan. If you guys would like to follow the rosters, maybe take a screenshot of these rosters while you watch the game and see which number and which players really stand out to you. So let's get into it. And I welcome you to Protective Stadium, everyone, the home of the UAB Blazers rebuild, as Isaiah Jacobs takes it up the gut from the first play from scrimmage. It's a nice one, 18 yards. To who's going to be our running back 2 this season, and then Jalen Kitna, his green team, with their first completion. That was tight end Antonio Ferguson. Now Solomon Beebe on first down. Another chain-moving rush for this green team, 13 yards, and now a bubble screen for Caleb Brown, a man with a pretty good pedigree, as he fights through some tackles to again extend the drive. Caleb Brown is going to be the number 2 wide receiver, adjacent from Corey Milner this season. There is a nice play in coverage, finally. There is number 16, Isaiah Crozier, the 4th cornerback on our depth chart. Now 3rd and 12. Kitna rushed, but still hit as he throws. He finds Antonio Ferguson for the touchdown. Tight end number 85, he's going to be our starting tight end this season, a former FIU transfer, and a really nice opening drive by Jalen Kitna, who played 8 games last year and completed 17 touchdowns in his first season as a UAB Blazer. And now we get our first look at backup quarterback Trace Campbell leading the white team, and here's 4th-string running back Marquise Collins to get the day going for Campbell and his unit. Also with Campbell is number 1 running back Javon Jackson and number 1 wide receiver Corey Milner, but this time he'll find the 4th-string receiver Jalen Elder, who goes vertical to grab this one to complete a first down catch. This is on Tariq Watson too, our number 1 corner projected. Jalen Elder is a freshman from Georgia, former 3-star recruit. I'm very excited for him. He's got the best catching rating on the team, and now Campbell continues to work outside the pocket. He'll tuck and run and get near the sticks, and he also absorbs some contact as well. Campbell very fearless, and he's playing hard to begin this opening drive, and we get a quick look at Javon Campbell on a 3rd and short opportunity. The former bell cow back for UTEP last season, as he transfers in. He had 754 yards last year, and Elder trying to fight off some tight coverage there. Both secondaries making some plays here, but they'll try to make one for the green team to get off the field. An inside route, Corey Milner had the leverage on number 33. That was sophomore safety Kyle McKinney trying to cover him that time, but this time we do a lot better job wrapping up there. That's A.J. Brown, the junior safety, who was our number 3 safety on our depth chart. 31 tackles and an interception for him last year, but on 2nd and goal, we can't contain McKinney, or rather, Trace Campbell goes off tackle for a UAB touchdown for the white team. So, how about a little quarterback duo between Campbell and Jalen Kitna? I know Kitna's got the rocket arm and the NFL dad, but Trace Campbell and his scrambling ability is really interesting. Green team next drive. This is Solomon Beebe, who is wrapped up for a loss of 3. Good job setting the edge there by the white team. Now 13 yards to go on 2nd down. This one's broken up, trying to go back to Ferguson. And we might have our first punt of the day here. 3rd and 13. White team only sends 3. And this one just dumped down to McCray. And that'll be the end of this drive. That's senior Evan McCray, one of the few upperclassmen we have in our receiving core, projected to be wide receiver 5. Now Trace Campbell is met with a 3rd down himself, but soft hands there by backup tight end freshman Gabriel Klein, number 19. I really like his game, 3-star from Miami, Florida. This one's broken up, tipped by Tariq Watson as Milner tried to go one-on-one. And that's just number 1 cornerback versus number 1 receiver there. Getting back to the run game, though. Read option. It's a keeper for Campbell, and his long strides give him the first down and more. His 4th rush, already up to 38 yards. I really like Campbell, man. He's got fearlessness and vision, and I think he could really be a good package player for us. Now we'll dump it off. It's a designed pick play for Corey Milner. Tries to go vertical and leap over Josh Baca, the free safety senior, but gets chopped down. It's still a first down for the white team, and they continue to make strides. What a block there by number 69. That's the backup center. Redshirt freshman Cade Martin just completely eliminates Tariq Watson from this play, and it's a first down for our 4th-string running back. And our offensive line has a lot of holes, so plenty of spots to go around and plenty of spots to fight for the position group on the team. Now outside the pocket again, this is a nice play from Tariq Watson bouncing back on 3rd down. And so UAB, the white team, will settle for a field goal. Now down 3, Kitna. He'll throw on 2nd down and wide open. Oh man, what a miss there. Would have had Caleb Brown for a bucket full of yards there, and now it's 3rd and long. Kitna underneath again, turning up. This is Evan McCray for a 1st down, and now some tempo here from the green team as well. Plenty of time to work with here before the half. 3 timeouts again, and it's a screen for McCray, but this one's bottled up by Amori Morrison. A senior edge rusher, a former Old Dominion transfer, had a pretty productive career there as well, and he'll be probably most likely starting off the edge for us. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. Again, the crossing pattern is hit successfully. Caleb Brown. I talked about that he's a very prestigious player in terms of recruiting in his position, and that's true. A former 4-star recruit committed to Ohio State out of high school, and here he is again showing off the pedigree. A beautiful route run there against Jalen Cheek, the free safety senior. And look at this, the toe drag, 2 feet in. That would have been good on Sundays as well. And now we'll move ahead to inside the 5. 1st and goal for Kitna. Quick pass. He finds the hot receiver. It's Ferguson for his 2nd touchdown of the 1st half of the scrimmage. And the green team takes the lead, 14-10. Some pretty good quarterback play on both sides. Kitna looks really sharp. And this is where it's decision time, for a guy trying to perhaps steal this starting quarterback role in Trace Campbell. He elects to keep his offense moving with only a couple seconds left to play here in the 1st half, but this one is airmailed in the direction of Corey Milner. It's Donald Lee for the interception. Donald Lee, number 23, a little bit buried on his depth chart, but definitely a splash play to impress the coaches there as this 1st half winds down, as he also gives his green team one last scoring chance before the intermission. We center the ball for our kicker, and with 2 seconds left, he knocks it through from 36 yards. So the green team up 17-10, but the white team does get the football to begin the 2nd half of action. And we want to get our projected number 1 running back into the mix a little bit. Come out in the offset eye, and Javon Jackson. I want him to be the bell cow back and definitely get the lion's share of the carries here in season 1, and a good push from interior that time, man. That was our backup center, Cade Martin, leading the way once again on that surge from the interior of our offensive line, and now a play fake to Jackson. This is what we want to set up. Campbell right on the money for Jalen Elder, who continues a very productive afternoon. Definitely turning heads here on this coaching staff. 6 minutes to play here in the 3rd. A give to Jackson, and coming up to make the play is Josh Baca. And I could see Baca coming off the bench and playing in the box a little bit as a safety, but now a huge hole for Javon Jackson. He's into the open field inside the 10, and it takes multiple UAB Blazers in green jerseys to bring him down. Tariq Watson got a tackle broken there. He's kind of had not the best afternoon here. And now 1st and goal. Campbell will scramble to his left and finds Gabriel Klein for the touchdown. Tight end number 2. Like I said earlier, former 3-star from Miami, Florida. He's 6'4", 215, so he's got to hit the weight room a little bit, but I really like his receiving skills, and I think we have a pretty solid tight end room, at least in the receiving aspect of the position. And now this time, we go on the first play of the next drive. It's the green team. That one's given up to Isaiah Jacobs, but he's dropped for a loss of 3. And on 3rd and 13, Kitna. That time, just dumping it down, and on the comeback, he has a man, but the white team playing the sticks there, they get the ball back. Now under 3 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Campbell with all kinds of time, takes a shot, but it's Eli Ennis. Wow, look at that, our starting middle linebacker getting real deep there on that play right there. And Campbell now, it's a designed run for him. On 2nd and 10, he makes his 3rd and very manageable. The white team would convert, and again, Campbell shows off the scrambling ability. He'll keep it again, but wrapped up behind the line. Very impressive play there by Devin Hightower, a senior wearing number 0. UAB's his 4th team in his college career, and Jalen Elder uncovered there underneath. And again, Elder moves the sticks. I can see him being a weapon for third down situations whenever we get to the regular season. Campbell, though, he's had some really nice plays in this one, but this one's going to be on the low light reel for sure. Just could not make a play there on first down. The rush was there from UAB finally, as both pass rushes have been a little bit weak here in the scrimmage. And on 4th and 37, yeah, that sack basically killed that drive. Solomon Beebe puts the spin move on McKinney, and he's got some room to make a play here. And the green team with their best field position all day long. Solomon Beebe, he impressed last year as a true freshman by winning that return man role, and he's going to be returning kicks for us this year as well. He's running back number 3 on our depth chart as a sophomore. Now near midfield, Kidna trying to set up a screen, but a perfect play call by the white team. A man blitz there, just had no answer for that. And on 3rd and 15, the green team offense behind schedule, and he will find Iverson Hooks, who makes it really close here. They may want to think about going for this if it wasn't for the hold. This has kind of been a sloppy game between that long sack we took just moments ago, and there's definitely been some penalties and some false starts I haven't shown, so definitely a sloppy game here, but what you kind of expect from a spring game, as again you see a miss there. Definitely not Trace's game right there. But the white team still has the chance to take the lead here on this drive, but a nice play there by number 9, Denver Warren, the number 2 defensive tackle on our depth chart behind Nigel Tate. But on 4th and 1, they keep the offense out there, and Javon Jackson, he's going to be really tough to stop in any situation, but definitely short yardage as well. And how about this, the white team getting back to their bread and butter. Javon Jackson, though, ripped down by Josh Baca. Again, another nice play by the free safety. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. 3:42 left in the scrimmage. 17 all. A huge pivotal play right here. And a really nice job improvising there by Trace Campbell. Again, finding Jalen Elder. These two have a pretty nice rapport here early on in their careers. And it's just enough to move the chains. 2:42. How about some speed option? Campbell pitches it. And this is Marquise Collins for the first down and some more as well. Up ahead to the 48 of the green team. Now inside the 2-minute warning, again another chance for the green team to get off the field. But how about this? Marquise Collins comes up big again. We went man, the green team did, and Collins running that Texas route. He embarrasses McKinney as Trace picks on him there. And now inside the 5, the white team and the backup quarterback have a chance to go up by a touchdown. With 90 seconds left to go, Campbell boxing out. It's Gabriel Klein for the touchdown. Both tight ends have 2 scores apiece. And this time Baca just not there in time. He's had a good game defending the run, but Klein gets the one up on him this time. And Trace Campbell turning some heads. The former Ole Miss recruits came to UAB to play a little bit, and you can tell. And now starting from his own 25, Jalen Kitna needs to drive the length of the field to tie this game. But Iverson Hooks puts the ball on the ground, and the white team will recover and hold on. Well, if you're going to talk about some stock dropping, Iverson Hooks definitely the victim of that after Eddie Tusum, our starting middle linebacker across from Eli Ennis, forces the ball loose. His stock's definitely going down. Hooks and Jalen Elder's stock going up. So this is why we scrimmage. This is why we get a look at this team before the regular season to see who impresses early on and who might need more time on the bench. Trace Campbell is your player of the game. 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 2 throwing to go along with 185 yards through the air, as the white team all gives him plenty of love there. Really impressive from Trace Campbell. He had a couple misses here and there, but all in all, I think he had a really solid game, and if he needed to step in and play, I got no problem with it. Kitna was really solid too. Not many misses, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Couldn't get the run game going. The white team couldn't. And on terms of receiving, how about Caleb Brown with 7 catches, the former 4-star recruits. And I really like how the offensive line played for the green team, as Kitna had plenty of time to throw. The only times where he faced pressure was where we called the wrong play at the wrong time. 3 tackles for loss for Devin Hightower, half a sack for Rogers. and DeMarcus Smith combined. And now Trace Campbell, 18 for 32, 2 scores through the air, 2 interceptions. My buddy threw one messing around at the end of the game, so really only 1 interception. Javon Jackson over 5 yards a carry, really impressed with him. And I was also impressed with Marquise Collins, being that back that can help us out through the air. 3 catches, 46 yards. I think he's earned himself some playing time on third down opportunities. Jalen Elder, 6 for 82, really impressive. And obviously Gabriel Klein, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. And if I was impressed with the white team's offensive line, it was definitely in the run game. They really paved the path for Javon Jackson. And this was a team that struggled to run the ball last year, so that's really important. And Amari Morrison had the lone sack for the white team. Well, that's about all I have for you today, guys. Welcome to the Lloyd Hicks era of UAB Blazers football. We saw the incredible history of the program. We met this roster, and next episode we'll be playing our first game of this series. And also I wanted to show you our Season 1 schedule real quick before I sign off. I made a few minor tweaks to the real-life schedule. They played an FCS team week 1, but I didn't want to play FCS Southeast to begin the series, so I scheduled the Delaware Blue Hens, battling them in their first game at the FBS level. We then open up conference play week 2 against Navy in their option attack. Week 3 we get Akron at home, and then I switched out Tennessee for Alabama in week 4. And as you saw in the intro, the Crimson Tide played a role in this program's dismissal back in 2014, so I want them to be our long-standing rivals in this series. They're the example we're trying to reach one day. Then we have Army, FAU, Memphis, then UConn in a random non-conference game, Rice, North Texas, USF, and finally Tulsa to end the season. Overall, I actually think we have a pretty easy schedule, and if we don't top the 3 wins that we had last season before we got here, that'll be a definite disappointment. So next episode, we're going to be playing Delaware, and I'll also be showing off our recruiting board for the first time this season, and all I can say is this. The defense is very old, so that side of the ball, as you'll see in the recruiting, it might get worse before it gets better. But that's all I have for you guys today. Take care and stay tuned for episode 2. Peace, everyone.